Hello and welcome to another edition of Low Carb Mag's look at some of the top blogs and top personalities on those blogs in all of the world. Today I'm joined by Doris Hobbs. Doris, it's lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so appreciative.
Super job. Now you've got a whole load of information to give us as we go through, and I'm sure everybody's going to be very attentive about what you've got to say, but let's just take a little step back a minute, and I'm going to ask you probably an unusual question. Who is it you have in mind when you write your blog articles and so forth?
Oh gosh, that is such a great question. Oh my gosh. I think it's just my blog posts when they first started, it was just fashion oriented, but throughout my journey through the 5 years with my blog, it became more on an inspiring level to inspire women and inspire not only women, but anybody looking for inspiration or for help with like mindset or, with their diet or fashion. So it just got really well-rounded. So I would have to say inspiring women for sure. Excellent.
So obviously in that 5 years, what you've written about has changed quite a lot over the time. But let's take you right the way back to the beginning. Why did you start it?
I was working in corporate America, like many people, and I was basically laid off. I didn't know what to do because I was there for many, many years. And I was just kind of tired of that world. And I just always wanted to be my own boss and be an entrepreneur. So I kind of sat back and I was just thinking about what could I do? So it was pretty much around my birthday and when this all happened. So there was a fashion blogger in San Francisco that I was following myself, and she was doing a shopping event. So I said, well, I'm going to go down there and meet her and have my birthday dinner and go meet her and say hi and stuff. So I did, and we were talking, and I asked her, why did you start your blog? And she told me because I wanted to do it for me. I loved fashion, and I didn't care if anybody ever looked at it. And I was like, okay, good attitude. She did it for herself. So, and she was in, the medical field for her full-time job, and then she was doing the blog on the side. So I was driving home, and I was thinking to myself going, gosh, everybody says I should be a model and I could write and I have good fashion sense. I've worked in retail. It's like all these pieces started coming together, and I was like, I'm a really good candidate to start a blog. I'm going to do a fashion blog. So I started researching on it, and I just, was a novice. You could tell in the very beginning of my blog post when I first started, I didn't really know the ins and outs of it, but I was, getting help from other bloggers within the industry helping me with the ins and outs of it. And 5 years later, I've turned my blog more into a luxury media outlet where people can get help with inspiration and then public relations, because I'm connected with so many, magazines and other social media outlets. People come to me for that as well. So it's just kind of funny how it starts with one thing and turns into something else.
Yeah, that's true. I think of everything we do, isn't it? Life is a progress, and what we do reflects our life.
Oh yeah.
So, I know you started off in fashion, but do you concentrate on fashion now, or have you moved into sort of different types of subjects?
Well, it's kind of like, for me, I started taking my fashion and then I would put something inspirational written on there. Like I would talk about the mindset about what you want wants you. And so talk about that whole philosophy, but then you see this elegant outfit, but then the pictures there weren't a lot of pictures because it wasn't a sponsorship, because I wanted a few pictures, but I wanted the story to kind of, be the focal point of it. And then there are other times where if I'm doing a sponsorship, it's all about the pictures and about the client and either reviewing the outfit or about, them as a business, like almost like a profile,
Excellent. How much of your sort of personal goings on do you put into the blog? Things about what you're doing and health and that type of thing.
For myself, one of the most personal things I've ever done was, when starting, it was all about fashion. And then I had a business mentor that told me, after I became a diabetic in 2014, she said, well, you should share your story on your blog. And I was like, I am not telling the world I'm a diabetic. There's no way I'm going to do that. And she's like, you have to. It makes you, makes you human. It makes you relate to people. And so I was like, I was too scared because I didn't want everybody to see this glamorous, 1950s inspired look. And then they look at me now and they go, oh, she's glamorous, but she's a diabetic. And I didn't want that sympathy. So I didn't want to do it for a while. And then finally one day I just finally did it. And I believe it was in the summer months of 2015, I finally did it. And the response I got was so positive. And what I did was I did a glamorous dress on standing on an old train, all battered and patched up. And I wanted people to know the journey that I've been on. I may look glamorous, but the journey I've been on is like this train. It's all battered and bruised. So I kind of put the two together so people can kind of see the metaphor of that. But after that, I think that's what kind of made me want to do, okay, I want to do fashion, but I want to do inspiration. I want to help people with diabetes. I just started branching off to different topics.
Excellent. So, I mean, you now cover, I'm assuming you cover a lot more of the sort of the diabetic and the health stuff than you used to.
Yeah, like now I'm starting to do more, you know, because it's like I'm getting connected with other diabetes organizations and, you know, other people within the diabetes community. And so I'm just, you know, kind of like back and forth on my topics, but.
Excellent, excellent. So obviously fashion plays a big part. What are your favorite subjects that you really get a thrill out of covering?
Oh, you mean like in fashion?
All across the whole
oh gosh,
topic range that
fashion,
you do.
I love the 1940s and 50s, obviously. I got the pin curls going on and the red lips.
Yeah,
and
me
stuff.
too.
But I love that era because women just dressed like women. They were just gorgeous. And even if they were housewives, they were still gorgeous. It was just like that moment in time where you just sit there and you watch those black and white movies and you're like, I want to be that woman. So I am that woman now, you know? So it's just kind of a cool thing there. But also it's just, I like covering topics, like I said before, inspirational and stuff about the mindset and kind of things that I've learned from other business mentors and other people within the industry and sharing that knowledge, because there's a lot of motivational gurus that don't really share the real secrets. They tell you make big goals, but there's so much more to the universe and how the universe works. And if I've learned it, so I tell people. So that I even went as far as doing this little Twitter thing. It's like it's not a podcast, but it's kind of like a reflection off of my website because it's on my website, but you can find it on social media. And I called it a dose of Doris. And it's just 2 minutes of me talking about something business or talking about something, you know, within like inspiration or diabetes. It's almost like a reflection of my blog now in a 2-minute little video.
Excellent, excellent. So you've obviously got a huge amount of information on your blog. Who would you say that information could help the most?
I would have to say it would help anybody that just is seeking not only inspiration with like style, but is seeking inspiration for hope and knowing that, you know, the word, when people say, oh, that's impossible, then know that you are possible, meaning I'm possible. When I look at the word impossible, I see it as I'm possible. Yeah. And I want people to come to my blog and my website and be able to look around and see like, okay, if I need media services or I need to get into a magazine, I could go here and click this tab and then get into a magazine. If I need help with diabetes, I can click this tab. If I need help with fashion, I can click here. So I want it to be for all different types of women that are looking for all different types of things. So it's just not one thing that they're, you know.
I mean, several times you've mentioned it's for women. I guess there's no fashion tips for guys.
No, but I mean, like maybe if you're a guy and you're a diabetic, that might inspire you. If you're looking to get like your business, you know, in a magazine, yeah, but not unless you like pin curls and red lips.
Okay. Yeah, what is this? I mean, pin curls I can do. The red lips, I'm not quite sure. Super job, super job. So obviously, people need to know where to go and find your blog. What's the name of your blog and what's the URL?
richinlovefashion.com. I'm on Twitter, obviously, Doris, Doris _Hobbs, HOBBS. So that's where you find the videos. Instagram's the same thing. The website, Rich in Love Fashion. And then from there, I have my little tabs. You could find me on LinkedIn and everywhere else.
Super job. I'm curious, where did the name Rich in Love come from?
Because I think we all want to be rich in love. We want to be rich in something. And I've always I believe we all deserve love. And we all deserve to be rich in something. So if I have to be rich in something, I want it to be in love. And I want to love everybody back too.
Super job. Excellent. Well, thank you for that, Doris. It's been lovely chatting with you. I know it's just a brief chat, but I'm sure it's going to inspire many people, and hopefully they'll visit your blog and get some, not just inspiration from it, but also some good information too.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for coming on, and we will be in touch and speak with you again. Thanks again, Doris.